At 3 a.m., my security camera caught Sheila Norton, HOA president of Cedar Grove Estates, Illinois, sneaking across my driveway with bolt cutters, slicing through my $300 EV charging cable. Her $90,000 Tesla humming in her garage with my stolen property, oblivious to the trap I'd set to unravel her empire of greed and discrimination. I'm Marcus Reed, a blue-collar electrician with 22 years wiring homes, and this wasn't just theft. It was the spark that ignited her downfall, a meticulously planned takedown exposing a multi-million-dollar racket that would land her in federal prison. Picture the crisp October air, heavy with the scent of fallen leaves and the metallic tang of cut copper, as I watched her on my phone, her smug confidence betraying her belief that a working-class guy like me couldn't fight back. What would you do if your neighbor stole your peace, your property, and your community's soul? This is the story of how I turned Sheila's harassment into her undoing, uniting a neighborhood to dismantle a criminal enterprise and spark a national reckoning. I'd moved to Cedar Grove 7 months ago, post-divorce, seeking a fresh start. The 90s built community, promised a haven for working folks, teachers, nurses, mechanics, people grinding for the American dream. My modest 3-bedroom, with a 2-car garage for my electrical workshop, was my lifeline as an independent contractor after layoffs forced me solo. My 2019 Nissan Leaf, practical and electric, saved me from gas prices that had eaten my budget for years. I installed a city-approved Level 2 charger myself, teaching my 16-year-old daughter Zoe to test circuits. Her laughter over voltage meters a rare father-daughter bond after my ex-wife Clara kept the house and I kept the debt. The garage wasn't just a workspace. It was my economic survival, tools humming with possibility, the scent of solder and sawdust grounding me. But Sheila Norton, real estate mogul and HOA president, for 7 years, saw my work boots, used car, and middle-class life as a threat to her curated property values. Her son Dylan, a 19-year-old dropout with a rap sheet I'd seen as a part-time municipal consultant, was her enforcer, his designer sneakers and sneer as sharp as her heels clicking across the pavement. Sheila's sprawling colonial, the biggest in Cedar Grove, screamed wealth. Her Tesla whispering eco-conscious while shouting superior at 80,000 decibels. The harassment began 3 months in, a $200 fine for my non-compliant charger despite city permits and inspections proving it legal. Then came tickets for my work van parked in my own driveway, the rough texture of citation papers becoming too familiar. Sheila's campaign wasn't just about me. She targeted anyone who didn't fit her vision of affluent whiteness. Priya Sharma, a teacher 4 doors down, got fined $250 for cultural decorations, prayer flags in her backyard. James Carter, a retired mechanic whose hands built engines for decades, was hit with a $300 penalty for unauthorized repairs after changing his own oil. Elena Ruiz, a single mom and nurse pulling graveyard shifts, faced a $400 fine for her outdated 2018 Honda, deemed beneath community aesthetics, while the tech bros yacht parked next door when ignored. The pattern was blatant, non-white, non-wealthy, non-compliant with Sheila's elitist dream. She didn't know I'd been documenting every move, my electrician's instinct for tracing faulty circuits now tracking her crimes. Each violation notice a wire in a larger web. That night, as her Tesla charged with my stolen cable, the hum echoing through her garage, I knew I had her. She'd handed me the key to her downfall. The next morning, I knocked on Sheila's door at 7 a.m., her silk robe barely containing her smugness as she clutched a mug screaming top realtor. The aroma of overpriced coffee, probably $1.20 a pound beans, failing to mask her panic when I showed the footage. Her, bolt cutters, my driveway. 3 a.m. safety inspection, she stammered, her Botoxed forehead straining to furrow. With bolt cutters? I pressed, pointing to her Tesla plugged into my cable. She doubled down, claiming code violations. Her realtor smile as fake as her excuses. But I was ready, my cameras. My evidence, my 22 years of navigating code enforcement meant she'd mistaken blue collar for pushover. I wasn't just a neighbor. I was a guy who knew how to wire a trap, and Sheila was about to get shocked. At the police station, I hit a snag. Detective Hammond, Sheila's cousin, tried to brush it off as a neighbor dispute, his jaw tight like I'd insulted his family. $300 in copper is felony. Theft, I said, holding my evidence folder. Escalate this, or I will. The room chilled, but Hammond's loyalty to Sheila was clear. Corruption served with a badge. He assumed I'd roll over. But I was 3 steps ahead. During months of harassment, I'd noticed Sheila's Tesla plugged into the Cedar Grove Community Center's outlet every night, stealing public utilities, a federal offense on municipal property. Midnight drives became my routine, the soft click of my camera shutter capturing time-stamped photos, her car sucking juice from the public grid. Neighbors started talking. Priya whispered about threats over cooking odors affecting property values. Elena showed me a shoebox of violation notices for everything from unapproved holiday lights to her kids' chalk drawings, and James revealed a $500 lien for landscaping violations on his manicured lawn. The common thread? Non-white, non-rich, unwilling to bow to Sheila's tyranny. This wasn't random, it was systematic discrimination with a paper trail longer than her real estate listings. I called Clara, whose strategic mind cut through our past marital fog. Stop chasing symptoms, she said. Find the main breaker. She was right. Sheila wasn't just a bully. She was running an operation, and operations leave evidence. Following the power source led me to city records, the musty smell of bureaucratic paperwork filling my nostrils as I uncovered Sheila's 17 false complaints against me in a month. Unlicensed business, Wi-Fi interference, even electromagnetic hazards from my legal charger, pure fiction. City Inspector Tom Valdez, a colleague from past projects, met me at Mel's diner, the clatter of silverware masking our talk as he slid a manila folder across the table. Sheila's complaints target 89% non-white residents, he said, stirring sugar into coffee strong enough to strip paint. Priya's prayer flags were unpermitted structures. Elena's kids' playtime was an unlicensed daycare, and James's oil change was an illegal repair business. Her own Tesla charger? Unpermitted, unlike mine. She's building a federal discrimination case, Tom said. But I needed someone with standing who won't fold. Then I shared my photos of her utility theft, and his eyes lit up like a jackpot. Public utilities fraud. FBI territory. The irony was electric. Sheila harassed me for legal equipment while running an illegal setup herself. That evening, I organized a potluck at the community center, the warm aroma of casseroles mixing with the electric buzz of outrage as neighbors shared stories. Mrs. Chun, a retired federal prosecutor, spread documents across a folding table, revealing Sheila's voter suppression. HOA turnout had collapsed from 68% to 12% under her reign, driving out opposition through harassment. This is election interference, Mrs. Chun said, her voice sharp as a circuit breaker. Sheila's desperation escalated. Fake eviction notices hit Elena's family, claiming lease errors requiring immediate eviction. A $600 lien landed on Mrs. Chen's home for imaginary fines, and an ICE call targeted Priya, a 20-year citizen, as a suspicious foreign national. Each move left a paper trail, her crimes piling up like exposed wires. Reporter Jake Morrison sniffed out the story, his voice vibrating with excitement. This is bigger than Cedar Grove. Mrs. Chen's financial dig uncovered Sheila's shell company, Norton Properties LLC, flipping 47 homes at below-market prices for $4.2 million in profit. A racketeering goldmine. The nuclear blow came from Zoe's friend Emma, an 8-year-old who recorded Sheila bragging to another realtor. Overwhelm them with violations until they sell cheap. Then flip for triple. Her words, caught on a kid's phone, were a confession to federal conspiracy. Jake planned a 3-part expose, timed for the HOA election, while Mrs. Chun filed court orders, freezing Sheila's assets, bank accounts, properties, even her designer handbags. I rigged a new cable with GPS, cellular alerts, and police tracking, a high-tech trap disguised as ordinary copper. Sheila struck again at 2 a.m., my system exploding into action. Floodlights blazed, GPS pinged, and police alerts fired as she cut the cable, her cold smile caught on camera, broadcasting her location. Officers found her Tesla charging with my stolen cable, cuffs clicking as Officer Martinez arrested her for theft, breaking and entering, and violating federal orders. Neighbors cheered. From their doorsteps, the tide turning. Sheila fought back, hiring lawyer Harold Payton III, who spun lies about character assassination on her lawn, his silver hair gleaming as he sued me, Mrs. Chun, Tom, Jake, and even Zoe for defamation and, ironically, racketeering. She shredded documents in her garage, the mechanical whir of destruction echoing, but federal marshals seized $7 million in assets. Her attempt to flee with cash and fake IDs was thwarted by my cable's GPS, state police intercepting her on Interstate 85, the rough asphalt under her feet as they cuffed her for flight to avoid prosecution. In her safe, agents found spreadsheets detailing racist harassment campaigns, targeting families by deportation probability, a business plan for ethnic cleansing, complete with profit margins. At the HOA election, 49 of 52 households packed the community center, the air thick with nervous sweat and Elena's stress-baked cookies, the hum of fluorescent lights. Underscoring the tension as I presented Sheila's crimes. $13 million stolen, 47 families displaced, civil rights violations, RICO charges. Mrs. Chun displayed her spreadsheets, her voice like thunder. You were victims of organized ethnic cleansing disguised as HOA enforcement. Elena called out fake evictions, her voice cracking then strengthening. She tried to steal our children's home. Priya stood, her elderly grace carrying weight. 20 years we've called this home, and her hatred almost took it. Jake announced Sheila's life sentence for racketeering, fraud, and tax evasion, the room erupting as I delivered the mic drop. She thought she could steal our community one cable at a time, but we stole her freedom, one charge at a time. The applause shook the walls, justice not just served, but electrified. 6 months later, Sheila shuffled into federal court, her orange jumpsuit a stark contrast to her Tesla's gleam, sentenced to 25 years and $8 million in restitution by Judge Patterson, whose gavel echoed like thunder. Your campaign of ethnic cleansing betrayed the soul of democracy. Her mansion was auctioned, funding a solar-powered EV station for all residents, its gentle hum a healing soundtrack. Zoe's essay on our fight, how a stolen cable exposed American fascism, won her a Harvard Law Scholarship, her pride brighter than any circuit I'd wired. Mrs. Chin's legal defense fund now protects 37 states, her home office a hub for justice. Elena's family transformed Sheila's Colonial into the Cedar Grove Cultural Center, the aroma of her cooking classes replacing hate with hope. Tom's pattern recognition protocols, adopted nationwide, stop future tyrants, while Jake's Pulitzer-winning expose sparked investigations in 12 states. The Cedar Grove Unity Festival raised $200,000 for the Charging Cable Scholarship Fund. Laughter and languages Sheila tried to silence filling the air, diverse cooking mingling with workshop sawdust as neighbors built furniture and friendships. My bond with Zoe grew through activism. My connection with neighbors like Elena and James turned from fear to family, and even my dating life sparked. Elena finds guys who fight fascism surprisingly attractive. Standing in the community garden where Sheila's shadow once loomed, watching Priya teach kids traditional dances and James show teens engine repair, I realized we hadn't just defeated a criminal, we'd wired a template for democracy. But here's the question that keeps me up at night. Can laws truly stop HOA tyrants? Or is every community one bully from collapse? Share your HOA horror stories below. Where are you watching from? Was Sheila's fall justice, or a sign of deeper flaws? Drop your thoughts, subscribe, and debate. Can neighborhoods shield against power abusers, or are we one bad bylaw from ruin?